Hi everybody, this is Jeff Haynes with My2CommonSense. My wife Sharon contacted our Senator Dan Coates about the Syrian refugee crisis and how she didn't want refugees being brought into our country. And he sent her this letter today. Of course it's a form letter. He doesn't know my wife, the man, the moon, and he doesn't even know that she wrote him or that one of his staff sent us this form letter, but of course it's from him, supposedly. I'm going to post the letter in its entirety after the credits at the end of the video. I'm going to try to post it to see if you can read it, so you can read it for yourself if you want. Dear Sharon, thank you for contacting me regarding the resettlement of Syrian refugees. I appreciate the opportunity to respond. Current law permits refugees to settle in America legally to escape from persecution provided they meet several requirements. Senator Coates, current law permits them to settle here if we let them. They don't have any right to. We could tell them no. After consulting with Congress, the President is required to set the number of refugees to be admitted for each fiscal year. The limit was 70,000 refugees for fiscal year 2015, and the Obama administration has announced its intention to increase this limit to 85,000 in 2016 and 100,000 in 2017. In the event of an emergency refugee situation, the administration may admit an additional number of refugees. I talked about this in the video before. A lot of experts think that 3 to 4% of these refugees have been radicalized or are sympathetic to the radical Islamists. So how much is this here? 100,000, 185,000, 250,000. So let's just say if the 1% are radicalized, that's 2,500 terrorists we're letting into the country. And remember, my wife's original contact with Senator Coates was that she didn't want the refugees at all. But that's immediately taken off the table. We don't care what you want. We don't care what the American people want. We're going to do what we want to do anyway. How do you like my neat dollar store glasses? In this Obama economy, that's all I can afford. Specifically regarding Syrian refugees entering the United States, while I recognize the humanitarian crisis in Syria, I believe we must be careful that we are not opening the door to terrorist groups. On November 16, 2015, I joined several colleagues in sending a letter to President Obama stating that we should not accept any Syrian refugees in the United States unless the U.S. government can guarantee with 100% assurance that they are not members, supporters, or sympathizers with ISIS. I also have supported Governor Pence's decision, that's our Indiana governor, not to accept any Syrian refugees in Indiana without such assurances. 100%. Can the government do anything 100%? Can anyone do anything 100%? Oh, no. You send Obama a letter. God, you guys are so tough. The House passed legislation H.R. 4038 on November 19, 2015, that would require all Syrian refugees before entering the United States to undergo a detailed background check. The bill also required the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and the Director of National Intelligence to certify each refugee as not a threat. How do you do that? How do you do that from people coming from a war-torn country? It's not like, well, I'm fleeing my country. I better gather up all my paperwork. I better gather up my birth certificate and my church affiliation and the deed to the mortgage for my house and all my family videos and my library of books that prove that I'm not an Islamic terrorist. And I'm just going to gather them all up and I'm going to take them with me so that they can verify me and let me into the country. How do you verify people from a war-torn country who they even are? Do you know how much records exist for most of these people coming into the country? This many, Senator Coates. I remember when this whole thing started, I think it was MSNBC talking head chick was interviewing a congressman who was totally against letting them in. And she says, well, they do vet them. And he goes, no, they don't vet them. It's not possible to vet them. Yes, they do vet them. No, they don't vet them. Yes, they do vet them. And then she says, well, they ask each one if they're part of a terrorist group. Boy, that's so reassuring. Senate Democrats filibustered this effort to improve our security, and the effort to end this filibuster failed 55-43, 5 votes short of the 60 votes necessary under Senate rules. By denying debate on this legislation, Senate Democrats have put their support for refugees ahead of the security and safety of our citizens. You know, the last time I checked, I thought that the Republicans had a majority in the Senate. So you try this one bill they filibuster and you just give up. You know why you give up, Senator Coates? Because no matter what kind of pomp you want to give me in this letter, you're just another side of the same coin as the Democrats. And that's why the American people are fed up, particularly the Republican Party. I have voted Republican my entire life, and I am fed up with it. I'm fed up with you saying one thing and doing another thing. I am fed up. Pretty cool when I get mad, huh? As a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, you know what? You ought to take out the word intelligent, because I don't think there's a lot of intelligence running around that committee. I will continue to closely monitor the refugee crisis and work with my colleagues to find ways of supporting these refugees without endangering our security. Thank you again for contacting me, and please do not hesitate to do this in the future, to do so in the future with other issues of importance to you. So my wife contacts them that she doesn't want the refugees coming into the country. And immediately within the second paragraph here, see it right here? That's taken off the table. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what a large proportion of the population want, of the American people, and it doesn't matter what you want, because we're going to do what we want to do anyway. It doesn't matter how it endangers your family. It doesn't matter how it endangers national security. We're going to give you this pompous letter, talking, really showing how smart we are and how stupid you are, and we're going to do it anyway. I'm sorry, but this is so frickin' irritating. Please don't hesitate to do so in the future with other issues of importance to you. Don't hesitate to contact me in the future so I can write you another form letter like this telling you that it doesn't matter what you want. Wake up, American people. Wake up. You think any of these Syrian refugees are going to be in his neighborhood? You think that any of them are going to be in Martha's Vineyard? They're all going to be in your neighborhood, living next door to you, building bombs in their houses, in the house next door to your house. Wake up. Wake up. This is Jeff Haynes with My2CommonSense. I'm all worn out now. Subscribe below. My Facebook, my Twitter, and my Tea Party website links are down below. Thanks for watching.